Hello, my most wonderful, dear gardening friends. My apologies for not filming the whole week. The reason is we went on vacation. And you know what? I knew that at vacation I was able to film beautiful gardens for you. So I took all my equipment with me, all my camera, microphone and all that stuff. And in the middle of my trip, when I was ready to film, my cameraman, my husband, was ready to do it, we realized that we are out of memory card. We forgot our memory card at home. So here I am, back from vacation without film. I wanted to film all the beautiful experiences for you, beautiful gardens. But what I managed to do, I used my phone and I filmed everything. And today I will be showing you what wonderful vacation we had, a beautiful garden I visited. And by the way, we went to Cape May Point in New Jersey. And Cape May Point is famous for attracting, Cape May is famous for attracting thousands of visitors to beautiful, wonderful beaches and white sands and great waves and water. And we were on Cape May Point. It's a seaside community where there is a 3-storied yellow house. And that yellow house is owned by Marianist brothers of New York, and they bought that house in 1962 it was an orphanage before, and before that it was owned by John Wanamaker, a famous department store owner in New York City. That house was his house, the house of him and his family. So now the Marianist house is run by brothers, and it is a retreat, basically a retreat place for families who want to deepen their spirituality and come and have a wonderful vacation with family. So in summer, each week is divided, summer is divided into separate weeks, and families can spend time together, go to mass every morning, there's confession, kids can play together, there are sessions for parents. It's just a totally delightful time which we had. Oh my gosh, I didn't want to leave. But enough about that. So we came back and look at this. The gifts I brought. Papaya, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4 papaya plants. And I have no idea how to take care of these papaya plants. One thing I know is that they're tropical things and they're not going to survive in my garden through the winter, because I garden in zone 6, 7, coastal Connecticut, and these guys, I don't know, maybe I will try to save them and bring them into my sunroom, or maybe not. So here we go, a beautiful garden I visited, and generally the update on my vacation for you. I had a beautiful time walking on the shores of Cape May, observing wonderful plants. And you know what? I noticed that anywhere you go, any climate you go, there are plants which are well adapted to that climate. And here we go, just look at the health of these plants. Nobody are pampering them. The conditions on this beach are so harsh. The sand, I'm sure the minute water goes to that sand, falls on that sand, it disappears. And these plants, look how well they are adjusted. I bet you all of them, which are growing on this beach, they have very deep root system, which reaches deep, and no drought could kill them. So that's another thing for us gardeners to think when we want to have low maintenance gardens, to invest into local plants which are well adapted to the climate in which we are living. And they existed on this land where we are occupying right now for many thousands of years, and they know it all, how to deal with drought, with rain, with humidity, or whatever we are facing in our climates. And then Cape May, I had so much wonderful quiet time observing the waves, the birds, the moss growing on the stones, and just time to reflect and think and get unplugged from all the busyness of life. It was just a quiet, reflective time. We were not on a busy beach, mind you. The Marianist house is situated very close to the beach. So basically you go over the dune and here is the most wonderful space. Very empty, not many people. Especially in the mornings, there would be 1-2 people. And you have this huge space to yourself. And it is so different from our daily lives where we have our small houses, small gardens. We go to small rooms at our works. And you just deal with this big space and you have time to think and reflect and come back home recharged, you know. I had fun time walking up and down the beaches in the morning, watching little crabs showing up from their little houses, birds flying, seagulls, and the sound of waves were always there, you know, those sounds going in and out. And I was looking at those waves thinking, oh my gosh, these waves create this sound for thousands and thousands of years, and here I am listening to them. The water was not very warm, but hey, after a week I'm ready to go in cold water. But what I want to show you now is this beautiful video which I filmed of the garden near Marianist house, and it's a very, I would say, a very small piece of land. So this garden got huge rejuvenation this year because there is a new member to brothers group there. Brothers are running that house year round, and his name is Brother Esteban. Just look what a happy soul he is, and what wonderful sunflower he grew from seeds right here. So let me give you a tour of this wonderful garden. Space is quite small, and Brother Esteban and other brothers were able to create all sorts of little compartments. They had to use wire fence to protect all their plants from rabbits, which are very plentiful at Cape May. And everything, surprisingly, looks so healthy and grows so well at Cape May. I was asking people, why is that? Why people grow everything so successfully? And the gardens at Cape May are particularly very healthy. And people were saying that there are a lot of nutrients in soil, and no wonder New Jersey is called the Garden State. So look at this beautiful, cozy little garden. Everything is so loved in this garden. Everything is labeled, and all the plants are so happy. And here is the cousin of my papaya tree, which was given to me as a gift. Just look at that basil and statues. You can clearly see that people who take care of this garden enjoy the space immensely. There are a lot of bees and butterflies, no weeds. And sunflowers. Beautiful flowers. I am from Ukraine, so Ukraine is famous for producing a lot of sunflower. So they grow a lot of sunflowers on the fields. And I remember when I was a kid, growing up in Ukraine, we would go through fields, endless fields of sunflowers. And you know what sunflowers do? When the sun shows up on the east, the sunflowers turn their heads to the sun. And all of them, just imagine, millions of plants. So all the hills you can see, you're surrounded by these sunflowers. And all of them are facing the sun. And they faithfully follow sun through the day to the sunset. And then they bend their heads and wait for sunrise again to begin next day. It's a fascinating picture, you know. Next time when I come to visit my parents in Ukraine, I should go through those fields and just film that amazing sight for you guys. Walk through those sunflower fields and enjoy them. I'm showing you how Brother Esteban is watering all his papaya trees. That's a lot of back-breaking work, I would say. But he collects water from the rain into the barrel, and then he put water here into this bucket, and then he just puts buckets with plants into that water, lets them sit in the water for some time, and that's how the soil in the pots get hydrated. Here you see that Brother Esteban loves flowers, and he collected some logs and put those pots on the logs, and he's growing wonderful marigolds there. Isn't it a lovely small place, giving so much charm and joy to everyone who comes into this place? So that was the garden which I visited near Marianist house in Cape May. And guess what? I came back with these guys. Brother Esteban was very happy to give me 4 papaya plants, and I have no idea how to grow them. God bless Brother Esteban. But I'm going to do my research on YouTube and on internet, thanks God for Google. And I'm going to learn how to do these papaya plants. I understand that in tropical climates, they grow as big trees. I don't think they will create any fruits in my climate, unless I decide to bring them inside and then bring them outside next year. I don't know. Let's see how that works. But I'm planning to plant them out in pots, separate these two. Hopefully I would be able to separate them and put them on my back porch for them to create some sort of a growth this year. So let's see how that will go. Thank you, Brother Esteban, for your most generous gift. Well, I am happy to be back home to my garden. Tomorrow is a busy day, weeding, straightening, watering again, because I don't think we're expecting any rain soon. So watering is a must to make sure that my plants are pulling through in these dog days of summer. You know, dog days, the beautiful green, lush green, light green of spring is not there yet, is not there already. And green is becoming somewhat dull. And garden is entering into a mature stage of summer, where the spring and early summer blooming plants disappear. And it is, I would say, quieter and not as exciting in the garden. But I look forward to the fall, where heat and sun would be so strong. And for me, I use fall to reorganize the garden, to do a lot of planting, because it's so comfortable outside and you don't struggle being in, well, the highest weather here for us was close to 90, 92, I believe, which is not as bad, not 100. But still, you know, it's uncomfortable to be outside. So I look forward to cooler fall days. And since now I'm back to my garden, I would be happy to film for you again, and keep chugging. Happy gardening. I will see you next time.